The good news is most of you already know how to write a good resume. Bad news is most of you have no idea how to write a good cover letter, and that's exactly where all the mistakes happen. You see, cover letters do not get the same level of attention as resumes, where you're going to double check it, triple check it, and you know exactly what to put on your resume. When it comes down to writing cover letters, no one seems to know what to put on their cover letter, how to structure it, how to format it. So in this video, I am going to show you exactly how to write the perfect investment banking cover letter in under 5 minutes using our template. And what works great for investment banking also works well for similar areas of high finance. Whether you're applying into private equity, corporate development, asset management, wealth management, big four, accounting, audit, you can pretty much apply the exact same cover letter structure and style into other areas of high finance. So go ahead in the description section below where you can see a link and you can download the Word version of the cover letter template that we're going to be using. If you would like to get more videos on how to break into investment banking, private equity, wealth management, accounting, then don't forget to hit that subscription button and also the bell notification button so you're notified whenever we release a new video. Now, as you download the cover letter template, just keep in mind that cover letters by themselves, they won't necessarily help you. Because HR staff, bankers and recruiters, they're going to make their decision as to whether or not to give you a first round interview primarily off of your resume. And on the odd occasion that they are going to read your cover letter, it's only going to be the first line of the first 2 paragraphs that are going to get read. Now, does that mean you can just ignore your cover letter? No. If anything, it means that the first 2 paragraphs in your cover letter is incredibly important. Now, cover letters won't necessarily help you, but it can hurt you. Our cover letter template is very simple and the structure is very simple to follow. If you find that you are missing specific information, for example, your recruiter's name, then you can go ahead and leave those blank. But for everything else, you should be able to fill out. The very first thing you're going to realize when you open up the template is that it's very short, which is great. No banker wants to read a full A4 sheet of BS about someone after working all night. So the very first thing you should do is update your contact detail and then update the recruiter's contact detail. Now, if you're one of those person that's going to send the exact same cover letter to multiple firms, multiple banks, which let's be honest, you probably are, at least update your recruiter's details. You have no idea how many cover letters that we have received in the past that was addressed to Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, BNP Paribas, and that was then sent to us without updating their details. It's unprofessional. Now let's move on to the body of the cover letter, which is going to be 2 paragraphs long. No way near a full-length article which most people have. Now, this may not be what your career counselors would recommend, or your professors, or even your friends, but in a field like high finance, like investment banking, which attracts a lot of applicants, hundreds of thousands every single year, this is what works. Most recruiters won't even go through your cover letter, and even if they are, they're only going to read the first line of the first 2 paragraphs. That's it. So make it easier on them and keep it short. But to be honest, all you really need is just 1 sentence, stating the role which you're applying for, how you heard about the role, and that you've enclosed your resume in the application, or you've attached your resume in the email. And if you want, you can add 2 to 3 lines stating some relevant facts about yourself, your interest in the role, and why this firm. And then you can sign off by stating how they can contact you or that you're going to follow up with them in the near future. That's it. So now let's move on to the most common mistakes which I see on cover letters, and pretty much 90% of candidates make these mistakes. And that is mistake number 1, restating your resume on your cover letter or adding unnecessary information. For example, there's no point in restating where you went to school, what skills you have, where you worked on your cover letter, or even saying that you've always dreamt of working in finance. Because if your interviewer wants to know where you went to school, what skills you have, they'll then just check your resume or CV. Number 2, your cover letter is not a personal statement. You don't need to explain your life story. Number 3, why this firm or why this bank? If you have a real genuine reason why you want to work for this bank or this firm, then state it. But don't say something generic as I want to work for this bank because it has great deal flow, or I'll be surrounded by really intelligent people, because pretty much anyone can say that about any bank or firm out there. Number 4, emphasizing your strengths. A lot of candidates will emphasize just how enthusiastic they are, how hardworking they are, and how smart they are. It's best to let your reviewer be the judge of that based on what's on your resume, which will list all of your grades, the institutions you've worked at, and the experiences which you've had along the way. There's no point in stating just how smart you are or how super smart you are when your grades or resume says otherwise. Finally, number 5, which is inexperience. If you're applying for a junior role in investment banking, whether it's an analyst or an associate, and you've never worked in investment banking, then there's no point in stating that you're going to hit the ground running on day one, or you're going to be contributing on day one, because it shows just how unexperienced you are. New recruits are going to have to go through training, and it's going to be a couple of months before they can even start contributing to their team. So if you say that you're going to start contributing on day one, it shows just how unexperienced or how uninformed you are about the role which you're getting yourself into and about the industry which you're about to enter. So don't say things or generic things like, I want to be contributing on day one, I'm going to be a great asset since day one. It's unnecessary. If anything, it shows just how unexperienced or how immature you are. So those were a list of the common issues and common mistakes which a lot of candidates make whenever they're writing their cover letters. If you haven't already done so, then check out our investment banking interview and recruitment guide. It is pointless to spend so much time preparing or perfecting your cover letters, your resume, if you're just going to be failing every single one of your interviews. The easy part is making a great resume, it's making a great cover letter. But the hard part, what separates successful candidates from unsuccessful candidates, is being able to answer technical questions, behavioral questions, trick questions. And you can pretty much get access to over 600 common interview questions, as well as sample answers in our investment banking interview and recruitment guide, as well as a guide on the A to Z of investment banking to help you break into investment banking and make the process as easy and as simple as possible. So, as usual, don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you next time.